Hello, and welcome to the Opalis Integration Server installation video tutorial. My name is Charles Joy. I'm a Field Management TSP specializing in Opalis. So you've decided to install Opalis Integration Server. Well, you've made the right choice. Now let's get you started. So I'm going to walk you through this all the way. So from download all the way to completion. So I'm just going to fastest way to get there, I don't know that's the long address, but I just type in Opalis, it resolves. And then we're going to grab, and for this demonstration we're just going to grab the 180-day trial version. So go ahead and download. Save it. I'm just going to save mine on the C drive somewhere. Alrighty, so we'll navigate to our location and extract. Of course, you'd enter OK for that. Alright, once it has been extracted, you'll get a pop-up message here, and you'll note that the only difference between the Opalis 180-day evaluation and the full licensed version is the licensing themselves. So if you download the full product version because you are entitled to it, instead of 180-day eval license, you'll see actual licenses. All the other products are fully featured. So the software is exactly the same, it's just the length of licensing. So you'll get a whole bunch of different zip files here. You're not going to be installing all of them. In fact, I'm only going to be installing a couple of the Microsoft specific products here throughout the installation, but you do have access to everything. And you want to make sure that your server meets the minimum requirements. So that is in the Opalis Integration Server Administration Guide, which I recommend you read on top of watching this video. The virtual machine that I have set up meets those qualifications. It's a Windows 2003 32-bit machine. It has access to a SQL server, which you'll need. It's not on this box, but it's on an external box that you'll be seeing me utilize. So those are the main requirements for the application, but there are some others, so be sure to check out this administration guide. So once you've checked out the administration guide, you'll want to unzip some of the products that you're going to actually be using. So let's go ahead and do that now. So the first one you'll be needing is Opalis Integration Server 622, essentially this zip file. So we'll go ahead and extract all. Just leave the defaults for now. Alright, we don't have to show the extracted file. And then a couple integration packs. So we're going to do Operations Manager. And all the integration packs will operate the same exact way. Now they have their own prerequisites, but the registration and deployment of them is the same. And then Active Directory. Alrighty, it looks like we're good to go. We can start in on our installation. To make this a little cleaner, I'm going to actually get rid of all the files that we don't need. I'm just put them in the zips there, and then I'm actually going to extract the licenses as well because we'll be needing them fairly quickly, and move that zip in the zip file there. So won't need that. Alrighty, this should be everything that you need for a basic install, and actually we're going to go a little bit beyond a basic install, but for this first part you're definitely going to see the basic install. So the next thing you'll want to do is go ahead and open up Opalis Integration Server 622 folder, and you'll find a setup.exe. If you want to take a look at more documentation, that is listed in the documentation folder. But if you're just ready to install, we can go ahead and open up the setup.exe. You'll be prompted with this screen. All you have to do is click Install Opalis Integration Server, and then there's a 4-step process dependent process. So step 1, then step 2, step 3, step 4. So the first thing we're going to do is install the management server. Click Next. Of course, you'll click Accept to the EULA on your own. And then we're going to enter information in here. It's going to be and then this is very important. This is a service account. I'm going to use a domain account that has privileges to access the database and install other software onto machines in my environment. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. If you get your credentials wrong, it will yell at you, so we'll see if I got my stuff right. No, it looks like everything's going well. And what this did is installed a couple services. So we go ahead and go to the O's. We're going to see a couple things have been installed. Action Server Watchdog, Management Service, and of course they're using the service account that you entered. Now if you need to change that for whatever reason, you can go ahead and change it once the service has been installed. Now we're going to go ahead and do step 2, configure the data store. I'm going to choose SQL Server. I actually recommend SQL Server. And then we're going to choose the server. We can actually pick it from the list here. My SQL machine. And then I'm choosing Windows Authentication. I could either create a new database, or if I was upgrading, I can use an existing. So we can see I don't have an existing one, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. I'm just going to name it Opalis. Click Finish. And then it's going to create and populate a database with necessary tables. You should get a pop-up message that says the database was configured successfully. Hit OK. And then we get to move on to step 3. You can see I have no license installed and obviously no satellites used. So the first thing I'm going to do is import a license. It's a pretty easy process. So just hit import. And it's looking for 2 things, key and license file. Well, to identify the keys, it's pretty easy. We just go out to that folder. And we're looking for, first one we're looking for here is the Opalis Integration Server 180-day eval.lic. Now we need the key. So I'm going to actually go out to that folder. Included in this folder, you'll get an Opalis eval product license. It's in docx, so we need to extract the information out of that. I'm going to open this up from another machine. We can see that this is the content of the document. And we can see that that's the .lic file that we chose, so we need to grab the license key, which will be everything here, including the brackets. Come back to License Manager, paste that in. Hit OK, and you can see license file successfully imported. You can see what when it's going to expire and what you have entitled. I'm going to do that 2 more times, one for each of the integration packs I'm going to install. So we're going to go ahead and navigate. First one is Microsoft Active Directory. Then we got to find that in our list here, and here it is. Copy that. Paste it in. Hit OK. We got one more. Then it'll be Operations Manager. Alright, and then we need that key, associated key. Paste that in there. Hit OK. And we're good to go. And you can see now we have 3 things: license, the server itself, SCOM, and Active Directory. Go ahead and close this. You can close that folder. You can see that now we are on step 4, which is to install the client. Hit Next. Accept. Next. 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 Finish. And now we're done with these 4 steps. Go ahead and exit. And what we can see here that we have installed is the client, deployment manager, database configuration, license manager, and operator console, or the web page shortcut. So in order to start using the product, you would go ahead and open the client up, which is fine, but you're not going to have any action servers installed, and the integration packs aren't installed yet. So we're going to have to install those using the deployment manager. So we're going to close out of the client real quick. Click Start, Programs, Opalis Software, Deployment Manager. This is where we're going to deploy action servers and integration packs. You can see the client has already been registered. Installing or deploying action servers or integration packs is actually very easy. We're actually going to start out with action servers. You can see there's none listed. So we'll right click, Deploy New Action Server. Next. What computer do we want to deploy it on? I actually want to deploy it on this machine. So I'm going to go ahead and enumerate these out. And I wanted to install it on the OS machine. And then I need another service account. This service account is for the action service. So it needs to have permissions to do the work that you want to have done via workflow, via the workflow engine or via Opalis itself. So I'm just going to type it out here. Next. And like before, it will yell at you if you don't have the credentials correct. I'm going to hit finish. Looks like it's working. Alrighty. We could check the logs here to make sure everything was... Yep, looks good. And now when we enumerate, we should see action server listed. Excellent. Now for integration packs. So let's go ahead. It's a two-step process. Register IP. We've got to go find that OIP file that we extracted earlier. It's going to be installer, and then let's do Active Directory first. Have the OIP file, and then we can do multiples, so let's do Operations Manager as well. I think that's all we wanted to do for now. Yep, cool. So next, finish. It'll pop a EULA per integration pack, and now we have the ability to deploy those integration packs. So we can deploy, and those are the two we want to deploy. On what server? Well, this server, because it's the only one we're installing on, but you can deploy these, just like action servers or clients, to other machines in your infrastructure. So I'm just going to type local, and then hit add. It resolves it, and then I'm going to hit next. I could schedule the installation if I wanted to. I'm not going to because I don't have anything running, but if you wanted to plan this during a maintenance window, you can certainly do so. And finish. Alrighty. Looks like everything finished. Check the logs. Everything's green. And now everything should be good to go for having been installed on the action server and client. Close the deployment manager. Now when we open the client, see a couple different things. One, there's an action server listed, and two, we could see two integration packs have been installed. So you see the integration packs themselves here, and then in the options menu you'll see that you can configure them up here. And at this point, for major functionality for Opalis, everything's been installed except the operator console, and we'll get to that in the next video. We certainly appreciate you watching. Thank you.